back here. Bill Ayres is the man who runs this whole show and has been involved with it for very many years. And this year we delayed it, of course, because of the hurricane that devastated our area so much, and that obviously plays into where everything is this year, too. Bill, welcome. How are you?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
Good, thank you. All right, what is the State of the Union this year?
The State of the Union in terms of hunger is that we have 49 million people who are what is called food insecure, and that means that on various levels, they're not getting enough food. It doesn't mean they're starving. It means that, they have problems of not eating enough and having to give their kids food but not getting food themselves, buying cheap food, and then you wind up with an obesity, all that kind of stuff, diabetes, all that other stuff. So,
how much did the Hurricane Sandy and the stress it put on the local, our tri-state area, how much did that affect the food pantries and affect the programs in the metropolitan area?
Devastated them. And some of them actually got wiped out because they were in those areas. So we work with a whole bunch of organizations right here in the metropolitan area. So, for example, there's a great farm in Red Hook called Added Value. We help to get started. And they train kids to become entrepreneurs in food. They teach them how to grow food. They teach them how to sell food and farmers markets, all that kind of thing. Gone, just wiped out
completely.
Yeah. So we're helping them to rebuild. Right. And that's a story you hear all over the metropolitan area. And some of the food banks that we're helping, they got depleted as well. Because,
as you would figure, people needed to go to shelters. Absolutely. They needed food. So,
yeah.
So the pressure put on the system was dramatic, I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely. But as I always say, this was a hurricane. We've had a tsunami economically for many, many years now, and that's what's caused this problem. People say, why do we have so much hunger in this country, rich country like ours? And I say, well, it's poverty. The root cause of hunger is poverty. And we have a low-wage economy. We have so many people who are working very hard, and they're making minimum wage or a little above minimum wage. The government says, and you and I have talked about this before, government says, if you make $24,000 a year and you have a family of four, congratulations, you're not poor. Right. And you and I know that that's nonsense.
Especially in big cities.
Especially here, yeah. Right. You'd really need at least double that, and even there you're not doing that great. So you've got a lot of people who are working full-time, and they're poor. And because they have these low-wage jobs, so there's a lot of movement now to try to have some more equity in the salary structure. Some people making a lot of money, other people don't make very much at all, and they're working hard. So the myth that people don't want to work is just not true. We got a lot of people unemployed now. The vast majority of those people want to work, and they can't find work, or they can find part-time work, or seasonal work, or something like that. It's not going to do it for a family.
Is the system efficient or is it inefficient?
Which system?
The hunger system, the system that feeds these people, the stamp system, the whole thing. Yeah. Is it getting more efficient, or is there a lot of corruption and waste in the system? What used to be called food stamps, they don't exist anymore. It's now called SNAP, Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. It's an EBT card. You get a card. You get a card. Right. Now that has made it a lot better because there's a lot less fraud. Okay. You don't have those stupid coupons, right? And also because it takes the shame away from it. So you've got a lot more people on it now, and so they can just wipe the card through. Swipe the card. It's almost like it's a credit card. That's exactly. Okay. But the president has been criticized for doing that. Somebody called him just the other day the food stamp president. That's one of the best things he's done because given the kind of situation we have economically now, if you didn't have that, you'd have massive hunger in this country. For a lot of, there's 6,000 people who have no other income except the SNAP card. That's crazy. And what does the SNAP card allow them? I mean, food. How much? I mean, is there a lot? It depends on how many people you have in your family. It depends on, Okay. But it's not a lot. It averages out to be, maybe 30, 40 cents a meal if you put it all together. Right. Per person. So usually by the middle of the month, or certainly in the third of the month, people run out of it. It's not enough. It wasn't intended to pay all of your food bills. It was a supplemental kind of thing. But for a lot of people now, it's all they have. Now, for this program and your program, it's not just to feed people; it's to get people back on their feet. It's cooperative programs. It's for a lot of different things. Basically, to try to get to the cause and fix the cause, right?
That's right. And the cause is poverty. There's no question about it. So we work with organizations all over the country. There's about 8,500 of them now. And some of them we've been working with for years, and some of them are new. We come with new ones all the time. And we love the people who are doing emergency food. But what we like even better is if they're helping people to get out of poverty.
Right.
So there's a lot of these groups now that help people to get jobs and child care and health care and housing and all that kind of thing. Those are the groups we look for. And we go around the country. We've been to every state and virtually every big city, Native American reservations, Appalachia, you name it, we've been there. And we find out who the really key programs are. They're doing something innovative that's working. And then we connect these groups together, which is kind of a neat thing. We've been doing this for years, as you know. And some amazing things happen, Mike. You know, I mean, you may be doing something in Missouri, and I'm in Montana, and I find out what you're doing, you find out what I'm doing, and all of a sudden we talk to each other.
Right.
So we had a whole program that's kind of a co-mentoring program last year going on with about 15 organizations all over the country. And they would meet together, they would email, they would do phone calls, they would do webinars, and they all learned new skills. They all learned how to do their business better of serving people.